So coming up next, we have an interview with Jimmy Luong, who is a data analyst at Patagonia. I think I'm saying it right. Patagonia in California. So Jimmy moved here in 2019 with his wife, who was studying in Napier. When Jimmy first moved, he really struggled in terms of getting into the workspace, and he's qualified with degrees, everything that you could want in a person. But in terms of navigating the job hunting and the workspace, and also he was looking to change careers, he was struggling with that. So he found in pRESPECT a community that gave him clarity, accountability, support, motivation, and we really work on navigating in terms of his personal development, upskilling, etc., just to add a little bit of extra in getting into data analytics, etc. So Jimmy did really well towards the end of last year, 2020. Had lots of fantastic opportunities in Edinburgh, but unfortunately they had to go back to the States. But fortunately for the States, they got Jimmy, who is absolutely talented, fantastic person. He's also written an interview which we are putting together for you in an article, which you can also catch up. So Jimmy, you get to hear from him, and you also get to read his journey, and is very open to supporting the rest of the pRESPECT community. If you have any questions, you can find him on LinkedIn, and he's just one of those wonderful people that we've had the pleasure of meeting. And I know he's going to be a pRESPECT, what do you call that, ambassador, member, ally, everything good that you can think of a person. So we look forward to sharing that with you. And there's more coming up, so keep your eye, subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Friend Blink. Hi, pRESPECT community. My name is Jimmy Luong, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about me and what I've learned throughout my career path. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and my parents immigrated from Vietnam to the United States as a result of the Vietnam War in the 70s. I could proudly say that I'm a first-generation American and also a first-generation college student. My parents actually didn't have a chance to finish high school, so I'm incredibly grateful for all the support they've given me to pursue whatever professions I'm interested in, and also just hobbies and academic pursuits in general. In terms of academics, I hold a Master's of Science in Civil Engineering from UCLA. I also hold a Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Engineering from the University of California, San Diego. I currently work as a data analyst at Patagonia, the clothing company, but we also have this platform that I support called ActionWorks. And Patagonia ActionWorks is essentially a website, a platform where people can connect with grassroots organizations that are all furthering ultimately Patagonia's mission to save our home planet. Each of these grantees that you'll see on the platform have received some kind of monetary support from Patagonia, but also in some cases social amplification support. So on Patagonia's social media, you may hear about these grantees that we're supporting. And I do a lot of the data backend to support all these grantees, which I've found incredibly fulfilling and valuable. In terms of the pRESPECT, I joined the pRESPECT community in the fall of 2019. And that's when my wife and I came to Scotland for her to pursue her graduate studies at Napier University. I knew that I wanted to come along and support her in her academic journey, but I also didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do or what I could do for work. But we saw it as a challenge and an incredible opportunity for us to both work and study abroad. So we jumped on that opportunity. And knowing that it was going to not be the easiest thing, to do together. So I just moved to Scotland, and initially in my mind I thought I was going to continue to do civil engineering or project management because that's what my background was before. But I found that it was pretty challenging to transition my skills and my experience as a civil engineer in the United States to the UK, especially on such a short time frame, because I needed to start working soon and a limited visa to do that. So I was stuck between continuing my career path as a civil engineer my licenses and certifications weren't necessarily going to transfer. And I also had this notion, or this this feeling that I wanted to work in a profession that would allow me to support different industries. And that's sort of what led me to pursue data analytics. And through pRESPECT coaching, working with the community, and understanding my own skills and strengths, I understood that transitioning to data science, data analytics, data analysis was realistic and also valuable pursuit for me to take on. So ultimately, that's what I decided to do. And I really grinded and did a lot of self-learning, online classes and such, and that's what allowed me to work as a data analyst at the Scottish Funding Council. So I leveraged my experience as a project manager, but also my problem-solving skills as an engineer. I complemented that with data upskilling, essentially, and that's what let me work as an analyst. Furthermore, at the Scottish Funding Council, that industry focuses on improving the education system in Scotland. That actually led to another opportunity by chance and also by a lot of hard work of getting accepted into Harvard's Strategic Data Project program. And I'll be starting that in the fall after my contract ends with Patagonia. So that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that because I'll be working to use data to improve teacher credentialing programs in the state of California. And the state of California, or the Cal State system, produces almost 10% of all teacher credentials in the United States alone. So that's quite a bit, and I'm excited about the potential impact of all that. So that's my work background. Outside of work, I like to do stuff outdoors. I like to play basketball. When I was in Edinburgh, I played for the West Edinburgh Warriors, and that was one of the most fun things I've ever done, to be honest. I like to get out on an outrigger canoe whenever I can. A little bit harder now since I'm in Sacramento, California. And also, I'm going to be taking up surfing again with a totally different mindset and approach and that's developed from some time I spent with someone who used to work at Patagonia and taught me basically how surfing is sort of an analogy for life and all that. So I'm pretty excited, about stuff that I'm doing in work, but also outside of work. And I hope you find my responses and insights valuable in some way. I will preface this all with the idea that everyone's journey is unique. But if you take away anything from this interview or from this article, it's that no one ever gets to where they are alone. It's okay to seek out support. Look for a community that can support you. And a community could just be you and your friend. It could be you and a group. Or it could be you and an entire organization of people at your current workplace. Or it could be your family. But just remind yourself that you don't have to do it alone. There's people out there that are willing to help you, and that there's light at the end of the tunnel, as cliche as that may sound. So best of luck, and I hope that this is useful.